Cybertron. It is the final days of the war. The opening scene will remain pretty much the same. The only main change will be during Optimus's narration. We will see Sentinel inside of the Ark, giving orders as the Ark tries to escape Cybertron. Since Sentinel has been seen in both the previous rewrites as visions to Sam, we now finally get to see what actually happened to him. As the Ark escapes Cybertron, the Decepticons fire a missile at it. The missile hits the Ark, causing it to become damaged, and is lost to space as Optimus narrates,
"A hope that vanished."
The screen then says, eons later. We are on Earth. A NASA analyst is scanning radio signals, when he suddenly finds a dead zone on the moon. Weirdly enough, it is not coming from the furthest point, where they have seen dead zones before. He hears static and calls his supervisor over, and they both listen closer. On the moon, a Cybertronian jet transforms and lands on the surface. It is Megatron in his 2007 form. Alongside him is Soundwave, who has set up a small transponder. The following conversation will take place entirely in the Cybertronian native language.
"Lord Megatron, we are shielded from the natives of the planet beyond this moon. Well done, Soundwave. Shockwave, I will retrieve the Allspark from the surface. You are not to leave your laboratory until you have a means of interstellar transport ready." "I will strive to meet your requests, Lord Megatron. Soundwave has transcribed everything we have on Sentinel Prime and the space bridge. Until we find the Ark, I will commit myself to attempting to engineer our own." "Very well. Once I have retrieved the Allspark from this planet, we will need a means of swiftly returning to Cybertron."
Megatron transforms and flies towards Earth. The NASA analyst hears brief bits of distorted Cybertronian speech. They also track Megatron communicating something until they lose him over the Arctic. The two of them immediately call the Pentagon. Pentagon workers prepare to speak to the president, and another one makes a phone call. "Mr. Woodwicki, prepare your expedition team. We have a mission for you." In my rewrite of 2007, Sam hinted in his ancestor presentation that his great-grandfather was sent on an expedition to the Arctic. The public was told he was searching for Soviet bases, but now we learn it was specifically to look for Megatron. The sequence plays out from here. Members of NASA and the Pentagon go to speak to JFK. "Mr. President, designation top secret. We believe we have evidence of advanced technology on the moon. We also fear if it's not Soviet, then it's alien in nature. We believe the Russians are onto it as well." "Well, then you tell NASA to move heaven and earth. We need to get to the moon." From here, the sequence of the Apollo 11 launch and landing will remain the same. After Neil Armstrong says his line, the NASA team is unable to confirm if the dead zone is still present. To be absolutely certain the specifics of the mission are kept secret, they disrupt the signal themselves. "Neil, you are dark on the rock. Mission is a go. You have 21 minutes. The astronauts descend into the crater. Since the Ark crashing was not what brought the US here, they will not find the ship or any Cybertronian face. Instead, they will see large prints left by Megatron, Shockwave, and Soundwave. "Control? Just looks like a field of giant footprints. Neil, look." The two astronauts see tank tread marks left by Shockwave. "There's tank treads, but they don't look human in design. Jeez." "Control? No signs of life anywhere. If this was the Soviets, they did a really good job of cleaning up." "We copy. You've got 7 minutes on your oxygen. So we may not be alone after all." "No, sir. We might not be." The ending part of this scene, with Nixon calling the astronauts as they make it back to Earth, will remain the same. As Nixon finishes his phone call, Shockwave is in a small base underneath the crater's surface. He activates some sort of locator beacon, and we see a shot of the Ark tumbling through space, and it slowly begins to change direction, heading towards the Milky Way galaxy. The shot zooms in to the ship, showing the entire crew dead. It zooms into the vault, where we get the shot of Sentinel's eye beginning to glow as he clutches the control pillar. This changes one main problem with the plot of Dark of the Moon, and full credit to Phoenix Studios for pointing this out in his rewrite. In his rewrite, that he points out correctly that there's this grand conspiracy being revealed that was never mentioned in the first two movies of the trilogy. So this whole conspiracy about the US knowing all of this about the moon landing and the moon landing being a cover for investigating the Ark sort of comes out of left field. This changes it so that the Decepticons are the ones manipulating the entire situation, and Megatron has some larger plan at work. We fast forward to the present day, where Sam and Michaela are living together in a modest apartment. Yes, you heard me correctly. In this rewrite, Michaela stays in the movie, since in this hypothetical rewrite world, Megan Fox never got fired. The two of them begin making breakfast together. Sam mentions he is worried about only being on Nest as a consultant. I mean, I helped save the world twice, but they barely let me work with the Autobots. Nest did pay for your college. It's okay though. Everything has been quiet since Egypt. But Megatron and Starscream are unaccounted for. I just don't understand why Optimus needed me twice, and now it feels like they've left me behind. I know, it stinks, but they haven't forgotten you. There just hasn't been anything. I guess you're right. Probably makes you feel better. I don't have to worry about you getting shot at, so yeah. The two of them finish breakfast, and Michaela leaves for work while Sam checks his emails. Nothing from Nest, but he's come to expect that. We then cut to a large field out in the middle of nowhere. A red Lamborghini drives over a dirt hill, being chased by two small black and gold cars. It gets a little bit ahead of them before transforming into Dino. He pulls out his grappling hooks and knocks the two cars over, which tumble and transform into skids and mudflap. Ah, man, that's just not fair.
On the ground, per favore, and stay there!
Dino runs across a makeshift finish line. He celebrates briefly before helping the twins up. They congratulate him. A little ways away, Wheeljack is with Bumblebee and Sideswipe while Jolt watches. Nearby, the Wreckers tussle with each other, giving themselves a chance to stretch their legs. A quick note, Wheeljack will actually look like his G1 counterpart, not the version from the original film. Okay, if that's with the remote control, you guys should be able to enter Stealth Force from vehicle mode now. Wheeljack, you're a great engineer, but this has not exactly been the smoothest project. Yeah, based on how it went last time, I have my doubts. No, I got it this time. I found the kink, and it shouldn't go the same way it did the first time when, hey, the three of us agreed we were never going to bring up the warehouse incident ever again. Bumblebee and Sideswipe transform into their vehicle modes, and then they are able to partially transform into their Stealth Force forms from the original movie. Wheeljack celebrates and encourages them to give it a go. First one around the track wins! Jolt takes off, and Bumblebee and Sideswipe follow after. Dino, the twins, and the Wreckers also join in halfway through, and Wheeljack watches happily as the Autobot team whizzes around. Wheeljack suddenly feels a presence next to him. Oh, Ironhide. Sir. Ironhide calls the rest of the team. Autobots, report in. The team drives over and transforms. Autobots, just because Optimus is out on a mission does not give any of you the excuse to break protocol. Ironhide, it's my fault. I wanted to test Stealth Force outside the base so no humans could get hurt. The rest of us came because we wanted to see. And you have to admit, Ironhide, we've been cooped up in the base for weeks at this point. No Decepticon activity has given us nothing to do. I understand everyone's frustrations, but we have only gotten into our fortunate position because of Optimus's diplomacy with the humans and leadership on the battlefield. You may speak to him when he returns, but we cannot run off without the approval from Director Marin. If we do, we jeopardize the trust we have built with the humans. Now, everyone, please return to base immediately. Optimus then narrates his same exposition. In the years since our arrival, our new home, Earth, has seen much change. Energon detectors guard its cities now. Long-range defense systems watch the skies, all while we search for signs of our true enemy's return. Optimus and Ratchet go with Lennox and Burke to Chernobyl. The Chernobyl sequence will remain mostly the same. The Ukrainian government has detected potential alien activity at the old plant and informed Nest. Instead of finding the Ark's engine part, the humans and Ratchet follow a trail towards the Elephant's Foot. Just as Lennox realizes where they are, the large driller bot bursts from the ground, grabs a part of the Elephant's Foot, and flees. Optimus intercepts the driller. His trailer transforms and he grabs a sword and shield. He is able to cut off one of the tentacles as Shockwave emerges from the driller. Optimus. Ratchet joins Optimus, and the two of them fight Shockwave and the driller for a few seconds. before Shockwave drops the elephant's foot and flees. As the driller tunnels through the ground, a vortex opens up, and Shockwave and his driller disappear. A ground bridge? Is that even possible? It shouldn't be. Bridges were a secret known only to Sentinel. He hops on comms. Optimus Prime to Nest Team. We have secured the radioactive material. Please stay clear. Optimus has Ratchet return the elephant's foot to the original room and ensure its movement will not change the radiation levels and will not impact the surrounding environment any more than the reactor meltdown already did. Lennox and Optimus examine the driller fragment that he severed. They find a small transponder embedded in it. Meanwhile, Laserbeak was spying on the group the whole time and kills the Ukrainian ambassador while he is on his own.
Pleasure working with you.
We then cut to Sam, who has gone to surprise Michaela at work. Michaela is working at the car place we see from the original movie. She landed her dream job and could not be happier. While Sam is visiting, Dylan Gould walks up to them. In this rewrite, it is clear that Sam and Dylan have known each other for as long as Michaela has been working for him, as they get along very well. After some time, Sam excuses himself, saying he should probably call his dad before he forgets to wish him a happy birthday. Dylan makes a joke about how he actually has to go to his secret job. Sam promises Michaela he'll be home in time for dinner, and he turns to find someone staring at him from around a corner. As Sam attempts to leave, he is intercepted by this man. This is Jerry Wang from the original movie. The sequence from the original movie will remain mostly the same, where Wang steals his jacket and gives Sam his manifesto about the moon landing plot in the bathroom. The only change is the scene will be much less weird. Wang will instead just check to make sure the bathroom is completely empty before telling Sam everything. Sam leaves confused, hoping he'll be able to look over what Wang gave him before Michaela gets home. We then cut to the dark side of the moon. The shot will zoom in on the crater that Apollo 11 explored. Shockwave's driller moves across the moon's surface and enters a hidden door. Shockwave exits into his workshop and activates some device that the driller uses to begin healing its severed arm. Soundwave joins him, and the two speak for a few moments.
Our master will be here soon. Does the success of the ground bridge mean your makeshift space bridge is operational?
I do not know. The elephant's foot, as the humans call it, emits enough radiation to power my attempt at reverse engineering for 100 jumps. Without it, I cannot even test it. But our master's plan is most logical. The elephant's foot was only the secondary objective. He trails off as he hears the sounds of footsteps outside. Megatron enters, and Starscream joins him shortly afterwards.
Oh, my poor master, how it pains me to see you so wounded, so weak. Spare me, you gaseous sycophant. You know what you are told, which is nothing.
Laserbeak flies in and lands on Soundwave's arm.
Soundwave reporting, Lord Megatron.
And what news does your assassin bring?
Autobots have recovered the transponder planted in Shockwave's driller. Excellent. The Ark has drifted beyond our reach for too long. Shockwave, adjust its trajectory and bring it to me. And Soundwave, ensure the Autobots will break the cipher by the time the Ark makes impact. Both Decepticons acknowledge their master. Master, I can't help but feel I have been left out of this conversation.
This is not a new development. Megatron ignores Shockwave's comment.
Then it would be wise for you to assure me that Decepticons are ready for transport. They are indeed. Already a sizable fleet has assembled out in deep space, but I have begun to wonder, as you often do.
Soundwave, your human collaborator has manipulated satellite data for long enough. He's no longer of any use. Your assassin will take care of him for us.
Laserbeak, kill him.
Laserbeak flies off.
My pleasure.
Sam gets back to the apartment and looks over everything Jerry gave him. It seems to be random notes until Sam reads through the main page, where Jerry talks about how he has been forced to manipulate satellite data to hide an object from NASA's view. A random note afterwards says it looks like a UFO. After a little bit, Michaela comes home and sees him basically in the middle of a conspiracy board. Sam, what's going on? Hey babe, sorry for the mess. Someone at your work gave me a bunch of notes and says he's been forced to manipulate satellite data for the Decepticons. Who? He said his name is Jerry Wang. Sam, you know I support you. Jerry is a little on the weird side. You think I'm in over my head? I think you're jumping after a red herring because you want to show Ness something. Look, if this is something, then tell me and I'll help you figure it out. But you're going to need more than just a claim from Jerry for Ness to take this seriously. Okay, I think this is something. Can you help me? Maybe tell me what Jerry is like at work? Of course. The two of them start looking over the notes before Sam says thank you to Michaela. The Autobots are all back at base now. Optimus gives the transponder to Wheeljack, and he and Jolt are trying to decode the cipher. Optimus gathers the other Autobots. Autobots, it has come to my attention that all of you left base while Ratchet and I were at Chernobyl. Wheeljack begins to take the blame for it, but Dino interjects. Optimus, it isn't Wheeljack's fault. He got clearance to take B and Sideswipe out for a stealth force test, and the rest of us tagged along. We're just tired of being stuck in the base. There's been nothing to do. I understand everyone's frustrations, but this is not Cybertron. Our human allies have a particular way of doing things. We follow their protocols as proof of the trust we share. We must not lose sight of the fact that upon this planet, we are Titans, and such power must be used wisely. The Autobots all agree silently. Director Merring arrives and questions Lennox about the reports coming in of a destroyed empty property, giant footprints, and a group of eccentric cars driving around. Do you have control over this unit or not, Colonel? Yes, ma'am. Optimus has just spoken to them. It won't happen again. Optimus greets Director Merring and speaks with her about the situation while the Autobots watch the cipher get decoded. After some time, Wheeljack and Jolt input a few final commands and break through. There we go. Oh, scrap. Optimus, this is a locator beacon. It's linked to an unidentified object moving towards Earth. How far is it? Just past Mars. He inputs another command. The signal source is on the moon. It's where the object is projected to impact. Wheeljack shows everyone a picture of the moon and where the object will impact. Wait, that's the site where Apollo 11 landed. Apollo 11? Director, is there something we ought to know? The Apollo project was a set of U.S. missions to land a man on the moon. Apollo 11 was the mission that allowed the first two men to walk along its surface. The site was chosen after data analysts at NASA lost radio signal in that region a few years prior. Do you still have the data? Yes, all the information was kept in the Sector 7 database. Why? Loss of comm signal. That sounds like what happened to us in China and Egypt, and several instances during the war for Cybertron. Lennox finds the data and gives it to Jolt. Jolt confirms it matches the energy signatures to the EMP devices the Decepticons used in China and Egypt in the previous rewrite. Why was this information kept from us? Until just now, it was hardly relevant information. Our Autobot spacecraft has the ability to get to Lua. Wheeljack, how long? Considering prep time, we'd make it there shortly after impact. Optimus's next line to Director Merring will be taken from the trailer for the film.
Everything humans know of our planet we were told had been shared. You lied to us. You've made a grave mistake.
Megatron and Soundwave stand on the bridge of the Nemesis. They watch as the unidentified object, the Ark, makes impact on the moon.
Impact confirmed, Lord Megatron. The Autobots are already en route.
Megatron orders the Nemesis to leave the moon in order to hide from the approaching Autobots. Starscream, Shockwave, move swiftly. Starscream and Shockwave lead a large team of Decepticons. They raid the ship of the Pillars. Shockwave searches for the control pillar, but is unable to find it. He attempts to force open the vault, suspecting the control pillar is there, but he realizes they are out of time. Starscream hides a pillar away for himself, while the other Decepticons quickly shuttle the rest of the pillars into Shockwave's workshop beneath the moon's surface. Optimus, Ratchet, Ironhide, and the Wreckers land on the moon. The 6 Autobots do not wait for the NASA rover to deploy. Instead, they rush ahead. Director Merring begins to protest, but the signal is lost due to the distance. Autobots, let's roll. The Autobots come over a hill, seeing the Ark in the middle of the crater. They are overcome with emotion at seeing the lost ship. Leadfoot, Topspin, and Roadbuster exchange a hopeful look. They know that a few Wreckers accompanied Sentinel on the escape from Cybertron. Maybe they're still alive. The Autobots enter the ship and search it thoroughly. The wreckers are heartbroken to see their brethren have joined the Allspark.
No signs of forced entry. Sentinel had the entire set of pillars with him. Where are they?
Optimus finds the vault still sealed. He inputs an Autobot override command, and the vault opens, revealing Sentinel and the 5 pillars, one of them being the control pillar.
His levels are faint. He locked himself away to guard the pillars.
Optimus picks up Sentinel's limp body.
Sentinel, you're coming home, old friend.
We cut to Sam. He decided to go with Michaela to work, and he is going with the hopes of talking to Jerry. Dylan sees them walk in and is a little suspicious. Sam, I didn't expect to see you back so soon. Michaela, you know it isn't bring your boyfriend to work day, right? But it's not bring your boyfriend to work day. Dylan chuckles. You got me there. Suddenly his phone rings. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, sorry, I'm here. Was talking to Sam Witwicky. After a few minutes, he returns and tells Sam and Michaela he wants to show them something. They pass by Jerry's office, and Sam tries to stop to talk to him, but Jerry is acting odd and pretending he doesn't know him. This is similar to the original movie when Laserbeak kills Jerry after Sam tries to talk to him and the mouse is grabbing his hand. After they leave, Dylan shows Sam and Michaela a car, saying it is a gift for them since Michaela has mentioned the current car they share is a piece of junk. The car that Dylan gives them will be the same car that he gives Carly in the original film. The two of them are grateful, but Sam is itching to go back to talk to Jerry. Dylan also mentions he is hosting a party tomorrow night and he'd like both of them to be there. Upstairs, the mouse releases Jerry as the TV transforms into Laserbeak.
I don't know him. Jerry, you are my favorite. Much more like a Decepticon than our other contributor. You are even armed.
I've done everything you've asked of me.
I know, but the Ark has crashed, and the next phase of Lord Megatron's plan has begun. So my master needs me to suicide you. What did you say to Witwicky?
Jerry pulls out 2 guns and says his same line from the original movie.
Somebody messed with the wrong way today!
Laserbeak grabs him and throws him out the window. Jerry whizzes past the window where Sam, Michaela, and Dylan are. All 3 of them are shocked, but Dylan does not seem particularly heartbroken. The scene plays out similar to the original movie. Instead of it being Sam's boss, Dylan will be the one reassuring his employees, saying that anyone who wishes to go home for the day is allowed to leave. Sam looks at Michaela and tells her they need to talk to Lennox. Sam takes their car home while Michaela takes the car Dylan gifted them. Then they head over in the old car. Sam and Michaela drive up to what Sam has been told is the Nest base. The soldiers turn him away, saying this is the Department of Health and Human Services. After Sam gets into a shouting match with them, Bumblebee drives up and lets them in. Good to see you, is what I would say if you and I ever actually saw each other anymore. Sam, I'm sorry. Optimus imposed a strict shelter in place for us. I know, sorry, I'm just frustrated. It's good to see you, V. Sam and Michaela meet up with Lennox and Burke inside. They brief them on everything that happened with Chernobyl and the Ark crashing, and Optimus retrieving Sentinel. Director Merring joins them to ask why Sam has been allowed in. Optimus interjects, Director, he is here on my personal request. Sam relays what happened, showing them Jerry's manifesto plus the data compilation, and finishes by telling them that Jerry died at the office earlier that day after Sam tried to talk to him. He jumped out of his office window. No, he didn't reveal all of this to me and then kill himself. I think the Decepticons murdered him. Director Merring casts a, seriously, look at Lennox and Burke. He's been right before, Director. I'd listen to him. Ratchet's voice then comes over the PA system, telling everyone Optimus is ready to attempt resuscitation. Optimus takes the Matrix of Leadership out of his chest, and uses it to bring Sentinel back online. Sentinel, believing he is in the middle of a battle, jumps on Optimus. Optimus reassures him as the Autobots stand around the leader of Cybertron.
The war! The war! Where are we? The war was lost. Cybertron is now barren and lifeless. We have taken refuge here on planet Earth. Its human species is our ally. My ship. We came under fire. Where are the pillars? Megatron orchestrated events to allow the Ark to crash on this planet's lone moon. The cargo hold was empty.
though I am not certain the Decepticons could have taken all of them so quickly. Regardless, you saved 5 of them, including the control pillar. Excuse me, gentlemen, what is the significance of these pillars? You must be the one in charge here. It is an honor. As for your question, the pillars together form a space bridge. I designed and I alone can control them. I utilized them to transport material across great distances, and departed from Cybertron with them in hopes of giving my Autobots an escape route from the war. But I was waylaid before my task could be completed. So the pillars create a teleportation network. Yes, for moving resources, for refugees. Refugees or troops of soldiers, weapons, maybe bombs. A means of an instant strike, that's its military function. Though I understand your concerns, it is still our technology, and I ask that it be returned. Yes, if humans say so. You cannot just bring a weapon of mass destruction into our atmosphere. A little paperwork is a formality that keeps us separated from the animals. I will overlook your condescending tone, if you heed the gravity of mine. The Decepticons must not gain access to the control pillar, for if a functional space bridge were to be in their hands, it would mean the end of your world. We then cut to the Decepticon base on the moon. Shockwave is analyzing the pillars the Decepticons retrieved in his laboratory. Megatron is standing over him, visibly impatient. After watching Shockwave place another pillar on the table, Megatron is starting to become very annoyed.
Shockwave, report.
Shockwave turns, hearing Megatron's irritation. My liege, I have successfully confirmed my makeshift space bridge is a faithful recreation of Sentinel's original system. Megatron stoops down, getting into Shockwave's face, staring in his lone eye.
Then why does it not function? You promised me an operational space bridge.
Master, excuse my impotence, but I have created a homologue to that of Sentinel's design, meaning the assumption my system would also require its own control pillar would be most logical. However, I have been unable to discern the technology behind that device. Megatron stares into Shockwave's eye for an uncomfortably long time, before leaning back up.
Then perhaps securing the original control pillar and its creator would be a prudent endeavor.
He hops on comms.
Soundwave, despite your current task, I trust you are still keeping surveillance for Autobot sightings.
Yes, Lord Megatron.
Shockwave, keep the ground bridge primed. When Soundwave finds Sentinel out in the open, I will pay the former leader of Cybertron a visit.
Back on Earth, Director Mary meets with Sam and Michaela in her office. The scene will remain mostly the same, save for Brains and Wheelie not being in this rewrite. And Sam won't mention getting a medal. Bumblebee is assigned to keep watch over Sam until the cause of Jerry's death can be confirmed as a suicide or a murder by the Decepticons. As Sam and Michaela are leaving, they hear large footsteps behind them. They turn around to find Sentinel.
Human, you are Sam.
Yes, sir. I've seen you twice before. It's an honor to finally meet you face to face.
The honor is mine. You have fought to protect our world. I commend you for your bravery. I hope as I continue to meet more of your kind, they are as virtuous as you are. Currently, my opinion is mixed.
Thank you. I hope I'll see you again soon. You were a great help when you appeared as visions. Sentinel then walks around the base until he comes upon Skids and Mudflap. The twins become rigid, and Mudflap tries to salute.
Skids, Mudflap, there is no need for that. I was coming to tell you that I am glad to see the younger generations have survived the fall of Cybertron.
Yes, sir. Not a pleasant memory, though.
Yes. You were unfortunate enough to not see Cybertron's golden age.
What was it like, Sentinel?
It was beautiful. Imagine a city stretched as far as the eye could see, energon flowing next to every street. No oppression, no injustice, no war.
So what happened?
The golden age ended. We needed to start mining for energon, and everything deteriorated from there.
The three sit in silence for a few moments. Well, I hope we can see it like that again one day. Yeah, it'd be nice to see Cybertron the way the sales described them.
Skids, Mudflap, I sincerely hope that this dream of yours can become a reality.
Sentinel smiles and walks away to watch Wheeljack work on Dino. Wheeljack is telling Dino he's not going to add remote activation of Stealth Force into his kit until they are able to test outside the base again.
Excuse my interruption, Wheeljack, but I do not understand. Why not just leave the base and test it now?
Optimus has asked us to remain in the confines of the base unless authorized by Director Maring.
What?
Dino is quick to interject.
It's for good reason, sir. Humanity is not used to our presence, and they have no protective shell. If one of them were to get underfoot, they would go squish.
It is hard, but we only have this advantage because of Optimus, so we are glad to follow his orders, even if they do give some of us itchy fists.
This is no way for our kind to be treated. But I suppose I can understand the logic.
Sentinel leaves to go find Optimus. On the way, he finds the Wreckers, and he consoles them about the loss of their brethren on the Ark. Sentinel assures them that the Wreckers aboard the Ark served him well, and given the opportunity, he will personally officiate their burial ceremony. After Sam gets home, Michaela goes to bed, but Sam talks with Bumblebee. I feel like I can help you guys, but now it's the other way around. You're babysitting me. I know it stinks. I remember when I was just a new scout. Felt like I couldn't go anywhere without a commander stuck on my tailpipe. The question I had to ask myself, and now I'm asking you, is what do you want to do about it? I want to help. And I think I know how. I'm going to figure this out. Let's call in our expert. We then have the scene of Simmons having his interview in his house. Sam watches him have the interview on the TV while he calls. Dutch finally picks up the phone, and Sam and Simmons talk. This scene remains mostly the same from the original movie.
Tell Megatron, let's tango.
We then cut back to the nest base, where Sentinel and Optimus are walking through it. Sentinel is clearly being reminded of the bunkers of a war-torn Cybertron, and is greatly distressed.
Optimus, does this planet have more to it than just cramped metal hallways?
It does.
This planet has a certain kind of beauty. When we first came to Earth, I was confused as to the many things humans found beautiful, but I have grown to appreciate it as they do. Humans, they are an interesting species. On the one hand, Sam is respectful and fights to protect more than himself. On the other hand, Director Maring is respectful until her position is threatened. Then she attempts to wrestle control from the river. Humans are diverse, old friend. Much like our kind, there are those we will mesh with, and those who are more abrasive. In time, Director Maring will grow on you. Yes, after she mandates I do so. Optimus, you mentioned our world was barren and lifeless. What has become of the Allspark?
Optimus turns away, clearly dreading this conversation would come up.
Optimus, the Allspark is gone. After the Ark was lost, the city of Iacon fell to the Decepticons. I ordered the Autobots to the final watchtowers where they could flee. I journeyed to the Well of Allsparks, and jettisoned the Allspark off-world to keep it far from Megatron's reach, for I feared what he may do with it. You doomed Cybertron? Primus's spark is dormant because of your actions. Please tell me you have at least made attempts to find it.
Sentinel suddenly remembers something.
I was in stasis both times that Sam saw me in a vision. Is it true that I spoke to him about the Allspark? Did he destroy it to defeat Megatron? He did, but I would have sacrificed myself to keep it from Megatron's clutches.
Sentinel is clearly upset at hearing the Allspark is destroyed.
What is even the point of finding the rest of the pillars now? What would the space bridge bring us back to? A dead world with no means of revival. I am sorry, Sentinel. It may not be with the Allspark, but we will find a way to repair our planet. That would take countless eons, Optimus. The materials required would take far too long for us to collect.
The two sit in awkward silence.
I suppose I at least owe you a sunset. Come with me.
Meanwhile, Sam, Simmons, and Dutch begin analyzing everything they know. You think the Decepticons were trying to hide this? I think they were trying to keep it secret until the time was right for the Autobots to figure this out. That doesn't make any sense. The Autobots knew about the Ark without what I knew from Jerry. Have you looked over everything? He might have known something the Decepticons wanted to keep under wraps. At the same time, Bumblebee is talking with some of the other Autobots back at base. Sideswipe and Dino were looking through data trying to find anything that might help Sam. Alright, any chance you guys would be allowed to get over here?
Everyone's already on thin ice with Director marrying around.
Run it by Optimus.
He and Sentinel left a few hours ago. It's fine, we're on our way.
Don't get in trouble for me and Sam, guys.
You think I've never been scolded by Ironhide? It'll be fine.
They send some files to Bumblebee, who gives them to Dutch. Dutch plugs the USB into the computer and is utterly confused by the ordering of the files.
How do you robots manage to get anything done? There's no organization!
Michaela suddenly walks in. Bumblebee gets startled and bumps into the fan, causing it to crash. Michaela storms upstairs and gets ready for Dylan's party while arguing with Sam. She heads outside while they argue with each other. Sam, I know you were never asked to be involved with an alien robot war, but why are you now trying to run directly into the middle of it? I just want to matter. You matter to me, Sam. Bumblebee watched me have a panic attack thinking about Megatron chasing you and the Allspark. I watched you die in Egypt. I've seen where this goes. I don't want to lose you. Are you coming with me? They both turn to see Sideswipe and Dino in vehicle mode coming down the street. I can't. Right. Fate of the world is at stake. She gets into her car and drives away. Bumblebee and Simmons comfort Sam while Sideswipe and Dino transform, realizing they are in an alley and out of the public eye. Good news, Sam. Dutch got a lead. You ready? Yeah, I think so. Bumblebee, Sideswipe, and Dino all converse while the humans get ready.
B, you sure we're secure here?
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
It just felt like we were being watched while we drove up the road. Optimus and Sentinel drive out to the middle of nowhere to watch the sunset.
So majestic and peaceful, this planet. Unlike the final days of Cybertron. I wonder what might have been if you had fought the final battle instead of me. Optimus, I was wrong to snap at you. You made the best of a bad situation. Thanks to you, our race survives.
Optimus bows to one knee and takes out the Matrix of Leadership, passing it to Sentinel.
You were our leader, Sentinel. It is your right to lead us again. In a world I do not know, I am no longer your teacher, Optimus. You are mine.
He passes the Matrix back to Optimus. The two look out over the sunset, Sentinel's face becoming conflicted.
You were right, Optimus. There is more to this planet, and it is beautiful. But this does evoke powerful emotions. Why? Do you not see it? Look at the shape of the mountains as the sun casts its shadow. It reminds me of the day Megatron betrayed us all.
Optimus's eyes widen, seeing what Sentinel is saying. The two primes think back to that day, and we see a flashback to Cybertron. Megatron, currently known as D-16, appears before Sentinel and the rest of the Cybertronian High Council. He expresses his issues with the current social hierarchy of Cybertron, lamenting how miners work tirelessly in the mines to supply energon so that Sentinel and the rest of the elite can live like kings. He proposes radical reforms, going so far as to proclaim himself as Cybertron's great savior, demanding he be made the next prime. Optimus, currently known as Orion Pax, steps forward, though he is ordered to remain at his post, as he is currently a member of the Cybertronian High Guard. He speaks to all of Cybertron and to his friend.
D, my friend, the future of Cybertron cannot be paved with the spilling of innocent energon.
He continues, his speech moving the sparks in minds of all listening, and enraging D-16. After Orion finishes his speech, Sentinel orders Orion to remove D-16 from the building. Orion walks up to his friend.
I'm sorry, D.
He takes D-16 by the arm. D-16's eyes burn red with anger.
I'm not.
D-16 pulls out an energon axe and sinks it into the space between Orion's head and his shoulder, just above where the collarbone would sit. He brings up his other hand and smashes the axe further into Orion's body. Orion Pax falls dead. It is clear the second slam from D-16 is what truly killed him, as Orion tried to pull back after D-16 first hit him with the axe. D-16 calls for anyone who wishes to see Cybertron's elite fall to follow him. A good chunk of the audience flees with him, including G1 designs of Starscream, Shockwave, and Soundwave. The two primes finish recalling the memory, both of them shuddering. Optimus, all of this is too much. Can I have some time alone? Optimus puts a reassuring hand on Sentinel's shoulder. Take all the time you need, old friend. I'll be back at the checkpoint. He transforms and drives off. Sentinel looks back at the sunset as the sun almost disappears behind the mountains, remembering what happened after Megatron's betrayal. Sentinel carries Orion Pax to the Well of Allsparks, so that he may be buried along with the rest of the fallen High Guard. As he lays them down, a shimmer emits from the well. A single blue light emerges and implants itself in Orion Pax's lifeless spark. The blue light says one phrase: Arise, Optimus Prime. His body begins to reform, and Optimus Prime's eyes glow once more. He stands. Sentinel is ecstatic. He had always hoped he would see the birth of another Prime. The memory fades, and present-day Sentinel looks over his shoulder. How far have you strayed from your purpose, Optimus? Suddenly, a ground bridge opens before Sentinel. He draws his sword as Megatron emerges, alone.
Sentinel Prime!
He mockingly bows.
Good to see you've made a full recovery.
Megatron, you have a lot of nerve coming here. Why are you alone and unarmed?
I have a proposal.
After everything? Give me one good reason I should hear you out. I ought to cleave you in two right now.
He takes a step forward.
And pass up on a chance to reclaim the rest of the space bridge?
Sentinel pauses.
Got your attention, didn't I?
Yes,
it was I who stole the pillars from the cargo hold right after the Ark crashed.
I possess the control pillar, as well as 4 others. I don't need what you have to offer.
Yes, because 5 pillars is more than capable of generating a vortex powerful enough to reach Cybertron.
How?
Shockwave has been invaluable in deciphering your space bridge design. Sentinel, we may be at odds, and you may have every reason not to trust me. But trust this. I too wish to see our home restored, even if it is for my own selfish reasons.
You propose a cooperation to restore our home. How? The Allspark is destroyed.
Yes, but the Allspark was never truly contained to one cubic vessel. You always taught us that it resided within the spark of every Cybertronian. If we were to assemble the materials, something this planet is rich in, and enlist the help of the natives, we can rebuild our home. Cybertron will begin to repopulate,
and the sparks of our people would awaken Primus, allowing our planet to once again flourish.
I am glad to see you understand, Sentinel. I have tried to reason with Optimus, but he has been too short-sighted. He has defended humanity despite their lies and mistrust, and seems fully content with leaving our world desolate and barren while having our kind assimilate with the humans.
He pauses, letting Sentinel take it all in.
I can feel your Cybertronian pride shuddering.
So you intend to enslave and pillage this planet of its inhabitants and resources to achieve this?
I trust you have met Sam Witwicky. He is what humanity could be. Think, Sentinel, all their conflict and mistrust wiped away by us showing them how they are better off when they stand together united, as one. Under our guidance, they can learn our technology, our science, but also our unity, our determination, our honor. Humanity would do us a favor by helping us rebuild, and we would be doing a favor for them.
Sentinel remains quiet, thinking over what Megatron has said. Megatron tosses him a small device.
Consider my offer. Use that if you need help liberating the pillars from a certain nest base.
The ground bridge opens up again, and Megatron disappears, leaving Sentinel alone. Sentinel stands there a few moments, before scoffing and transforming. He drives back to the checkpoint. When he gets there, Optimus greets him.
Sentinel, is everything okay?
Sentinel turns to look back at the final rays of the sunset disappear over the horizon.
It is now, old friend.
Meanwhile, Sam, Simmons, Dutch, and the Autobots all park outside of a club, watching two men and a woman walk in. So, you analyzed Nest files and found them?
Bit more complicated than that. I found the name of a Russian cosmonaut who was supposed to go to the moon and a NASA scientist who first observed the radio silence on the moon. Did a facial search, found out both of them frequent this bar together.
We'll have to be quick and armed. The thing about Russians, they never like to talk. The scene inside the bar remains mostly the same. Through dialogue, Simmons learns that this cosmonaut was one of two who was meant to go to the moon. The other one has since passed away. Dutch still goes Winter Soldier mode, but Simmons snaps him out of it. The old NASA analyst and the Russian cosmonaut take the three of them to the back.
You are about to see one of the Soviet Union's greatest secrets. The Americans were first to send man to the moon, but USSR first to send camera. USSR and the Americans discovered the region with lots of signal at the same time, but Lunar 3 take picture of the dark, the shadow side. Sees nothing. But we send Lunar 4 later. Still see nothing. Why send Lunar 4?
The Soviets discovered signals being broadcast out to deep space. Some unknown point. No known planet nearby.
Me and my colleague flee to America. Then USSR collapse. We share what we know. Americans develop Voyager probe. Voyager take picture of signal endpoint and sees
Strange rocks floating there. Hundreds of them. They show Sam, Simmons, and Dutch the photo.
I've seen these designs. These aren't rocks. Those are alien ships.
The Decepticons are assembling an invasion force at those points. They must have raided the Ark right when it crashed, took the pillars, and hid them.
But that doesn't make any sense. The Decepticons have the ship, they have those pillars. Why would they leave Sentinel and the control pillar if he's the only one that could open the vortex?
Unless he's the one thing they still need. The group rushes back to the Autobots outside.
Simmons, the Matrix was able to revive Optimus in Egypt. Makes sense why Megatron wanted it so bad. He had his own Prime to revive. B, warn everyone. We've got to meet up with Sentinel. Rendezvous with him and keep him safe.
The team meets up with Optimus and Sentinel as they are headed back to the Nest base. They brief them on the situation as Sam calls Director Merring.
Merring, I just picked up Sentinel and Optimus. We're coming to Nest now.
Mr. Witwicky, I thought I made it clear to you that I did not want you calling this phone.
Listen, the whole thing has been a setup since the beginning. The Decepticons wanted Optimus to find Sentinel because he was the only one who could revive him.
But we have the space bridge.
Merring, you have 5 pillars. The Decepticons have hundreds, and I just learned they have a massive invasion fleet out in deep space. They want to open the space bridge to bring them through. What do you need me to say to you? The Decepticons are coming for Sentinel Prime.
We're going to Nest.
The team drives with Sentinel and Optimus down the highway when a lone jet suddenly flies overhead. Optimus stops and transforms, recognizing it to be Starscream.
Autobots, get Sentinel to the base. I will engage our adversary.
As Optimus takes aim, 4 cars drive towards him, one of them being a familiar-looking police car. The police car transforms into Barricade and tackles the Prime. The other 3 cars transform into Decepticon protoforms and begin to keep Optimus busy.
Prime is occupied. Dreads, go now!
While Optimus is busy, 3 black Suburbans merge onto the highway further ahead and give chase to the rest of the Autobot team. This makes the whole sequence from the original movie make more sense. The scene itself is great, but Optimus is 10 minutes behind in the original scene for absolutely no reason, so having him get bogged down fighting Decepticons gives a more logical explanation. At the Nest base, Lennox and Burke assemble their teams as a voice comes overhead on the loudspeaker.
We have an Energon alert. Energon reading detected on the DC Parkway. Currently tracking 3 black Suburbans.
The Dreads drive up behind Simmons' car. Crowbar transforms and throws him out of the vehicle. Dutch stops as Crankcase and Hatchet transform, and the 3 run after Sentinel. The sequence will play out the same. Once the Autobots get behind them and start firing at the Dreads, Hatchet tries to dodge Dino, but the injury he suffered to his eye back in Egypt messes with his depth perception, and he still manages to get hooked. From here, the scene plays out basically the same until Bumblebee catches Sam mid-transformation. As the team gets closer to the base, more Autobots come out to assist. Instead of just Ironhide driving out, he will be accompanied by Jolt and the twins, while Ratchet and Wheeljack prepare in the courtyard to take care of any potential injuries. The twins hold point just up the road from the entrance, making sure no Decepticons are closing in.
Sideswipe transforms behind Sentinel and Dino to keep the two remaining dreads at bay.
Dino, I got him.
Take Sentinel around the long way.
No, I will stand and fight.
Lennox chimes in over comms. Negative, Sentinel. Our orders are to protect you. Go with Dino. Sentinel grumbles. He is clearly fed up with humans telling him what to do. Jolt drives ahead of Ironhide as two Decepticon protoforms block Dino and Sentinel's path. Jolt transforms and uses his electrical whips to grab the two Decepticons and throw them out of the way, similar to how Wheeljack uses his electrical whip to grab Predaking's head during their fight in Transformers Prime. Dino and Sentinel take a hard right, giving the dreads the slip. Jolt transforms and follows to reinforce them. Ironhide drives up, colliding with the dreads and transforming. The following sequence is the same Mexican standoff the dreads have with Sideswipe and Ironhide.
Whoa, little Mexican standoff we got here.
Weapons down. And we'll let you escape with your dignity. Crankcase and Crowbar will growl at each other in Cybertronian.
It's like they forgot what we did to their friends in Egypt. That compassion will be the death of them.
Drop 'em. It is clear by Ironhide's tone that he is not happy they brought up Egypt. Everyone drops their weapons. The dreads pull out their boomsticks, and the fight sequence plays out the same. After both dreads are killed, Ironhide will rack his weapons and say, "That's for stuff, team," finally getting justice for what happened to RC, Chromia, and Alita. Ironhide, Sideswipe, the twins, and Bumblebee plus Sam all arrive in the courtyard. Sam meets with Lennox as they are unsure where the rest of the team is. Ratchet begins tending to an injury Sideswipe sustained. There is a moment of tension. No one in the courtyard knows where Sentinel, Dino, and Jolt went. Suddenly, a flurry of energon blasts is heard, as Sentinel comes in hot to the center of the courtyard. Jolt and Dino both fire off a few more shots at some unseen Decepticons before stumbling into the courtyard, both gravely injured. What happened?
Decepticons were closing in on us from all sides.
This fixes a small issue with the original movie. In the original film, Sam says to Lennox,
We got Decepticons everywhere.
but the only 3 Decepticons seen in the entire sequence are the Dreads. So now it's going to feel like there's a much more oppressive force trying to get Sentinel. Ratchet and Wheeljack take Sideswipe, Jolt, and Dino inside to tend to their injuries. Ironhide, protect Sentinel, get him locked up inside.
Consider it done.
Okay, we've got to guard him because he's the key to the whole thing.
Indeed I am. What you must realize, my Autobot brothers, is Optimus's leadership has failed us. His aspirations to restore our home were destroyed along with the Allspark. We were never going to win the war. For the sake of our planet's survival, a deal had to be made.
An explosion goes off on the other side of the base.
With Megatron.
Sentinel readies his rust cannon, unloading 2 shots into Ironhide's back. As he struggles, watching the rust begin to take over, Lennox orders everyone back. The twins step forward, putting themselves between Sentinel and Ironhide. Sentinel, what are you doing? Sentinel hesitates for a moment, then responds by unloading a shot into Skids' chest and Mudflap's shoulder. His face is filled with sorrow as he remembers their conversation from earlier, and he knows they will never live to see Cybertron restored. Sentinel aims for Bumblebee, but the scout takes cover, so Sentinel turns his attention back to the 3 dying Autobots in front of him.
Sons of Cybertron, I take no pleasure in what I have done, and what I will have to do to restore our home. But rest assured, your sacrifices will not be in vain. Your sparks will dim so that Cybertron may shine brightly once more. For the current of fate has guided you to this point. Do not swim against it. Swim with it, and go peacefully into the Allspark. I hereby discharge you from duty.
Sentinel fires 1 more shot into Ironhide's chest, as well as Skids and Mudflap. He tries to hit Bumblebee again, but Bee dives out of the way. Sentinel shoots parts of the courtyard before transforming and driving into the base. Sam and Lennox flee with the rest of the Nest team. Skids and Mudflap reach for each other, clasping hands and saying,
Nobody messes with the twins. Nobody.
Ironhide's body is mostly gone, but he is still forced to watch as Skids and Mudflap disintegrate in front of him, the rust overtaking their smaller bodies faster. He cries out, knowing there's nothing he can do to save them. He then crumbles into rust beside them. Before the twins were removed from Dark of the Moon, this was originally how they were going to end their time at the Bayverse, so it seemed like a fitting end here. Ironhide's death obviously remains the same from the original movie. Director Merring arrives at the back gate when the wall suddenly explodes. As they get up, she watches Megatron and Shockwave stride past her into the base. Sentinel, Megatron, and Shockwave all proceed to wreak havoc on the base. Shockwave begins working on disarming the vault door, while Megatron hunts down the other Autobots. While Megatron was hoping to finish off some of the injured Autobots, the Wreckers defend them and Ratchet and Wheeljack to delay the Decepticon leader. Bumblebee joins the fray, and Megatron falls back to cover Shockwave, who is at the door to the vault housing the pillars. Director Marion confronts Sentinel, and their exchange will remain the same. Shockwave gets the vault door open, and Sentinel meets Megatron outside with the pillars. Before the two can say anything, Optimus drives up to the battle scene and transforms.
Sentinel, what is happening?
Before Sentinel can reply, Megatron raises his shotgun and shoots Optimus in the chest, blasting him backwards. Shockwave joins the two, and they all drive off. Optimus gets up and walks into the base, seeing the destruction. Director Merring's comment will remain the same here.
Yeah, take a look, Optimus! This is all on you!
And Lennox begins assembling a team to hunt down Sentinel. Ratchet then walks up, telling Optimus what happened to Ironhide and the twins. Sam walks up to Bumblebee and is relieved to see that he is okay. He tries to call Michaela, but it goes to voicemail. He leaves to go to Dylan's party and find her. Optimus goes out to the courtyard, finding the only things left of Ironhide and the twins to be their heavily disfigured heads. He collapses onto his knees. If robots could cry, Optimus would be shedding tears.
My friends, I have failed you.